Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the success strategist, bringing you week 24 of WealthWise 2025. And today we're going to be talking about smart spending, joyful living, aligning your budget with your values, because it couldn't be more timely or more empowering. Lately, the news has been full of headlines about inflation spikes, consumer anxiety, and post-pandemic revenge spending finally cooling down. But beneath the surface, a quieter shift is taking hold, a movement towards intentional living and value-based spending. So this week is about taking back your power, not by cutting out everything that you love, but by spending more meaningfully, investing in what matters most to you and your family, and aligning every dollar with your deepest priorities. So when we look at this, we see that there is a spending reset, and that 2025 is fast becoming the year of conscious consumption. Recent studies show Americans are spending much less on stuff and more on experiences, education, and their own well-being. So that turns out to be not only good for your soul, it's also a very smart financial strategy. A McKinsey report earlier this month titled "The New Consumer Value Equation" reveals that over 60% of Gen Z and millennials now use values as the primary filter for both their spending and their saving. This is a big moment to redefine wealth, not only as accumulation, but also at a much deeper level via alignment. So think about your most recent impulse buy. Did it bring you lasting joy or just a fleeting distraction that you wanted to act upon? Next, we look at budgeting as a values-based practice. Budgeting isn't a punishment. Let's rethink how we approach it into a purpose map. When we budget via our values, we transform our money and our spending from reactive to intentional. And here's how you can shift your mindset with a framework that may help you turn the corner in this very important area. So we want to go to essential and empowering. So if we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Essential and empowering, housing, food, healthcare. But let's not only look at it as the basic needs are being met. We want to turn the corner and think about each of those things from the place or through the lens of fueling our ultimate well-being. If we have safe housing, safe food, great health care, good community, good family, supportive career, etc., right? All of those things are fueling well-being, and we're investing now. We're transforming our money from reactive to intentional, and we're investing in the overall well-being of not only ourselves, our family, but the community. Next, we go to growth and legacy. What are you doing in the areas of investments, education, multi-generational family support, and charitable giving? Again, it's a head and heart and hands type of equation that we're talking about with aligning your budget with your values. And then drain and distraction. We want to remove those as much as possible. And those, let's look at expenses that feel very urgent, but are misaligned with your long-term joy. So an activity we can go through, I'm inviting you to do this on your own time after this, you listening to the session, or pause it and do this and come back to it. Go through your last 30 days of spending. Label each item as essential and empowering, growth and legacy, or drain and distraction. What's the percentages and what's the pattern look like? And now that you recognize that you have a pattern, which one do you want to shift first? Area 3 is spending where your heart is. And this is called the joy audit. We want to, again, shift our mindset from extreme frugality. That's not what we're asking you to be, painfully frugal. What we want to move you to a place to is called joyful intentionality. Frugality means you can't. Joyful intentionality means you can, but you're doing it through the lens of essential and empowering, growth and legacy, so that you're not resisting frugality and overspending just because you haven't given yourself the space to be joyfully intentional with your money. And again, this is mindset, this is building muscle, it's habit, right? So if every paycheck, every month, every quarter, you have a certain percentage that you can invest in your own, you and your family and the community's well-being, joyful intentionality, what's that percentage going to be? And if we think about this, we can see through the lens that every expense can bring you peace, freedom, and fulfillment. So we want you to start your own joy audit. Identify 3 things you love investing in. Maybe that's travel, wellness activities, family dinners, etc. Identify 3 things that leave you feeling regretful or numb, like late night online shopping or unused subscriptions. And then redirect actively that money towards things that truly light you up. Joyful spending increases financial sustainability, because when your goals feel good to you, you're going to stick with them. The next area is moving from budget cuts to budget shifts. We've all been told to cut the lattes, but the real strategy underlying that is budget reallocation, reclaiming your money for the values that are of the highest priority. So we want you to shift your mindset around replacing the words cutting back with shifting forward. Example, swap a luxury impulse buy for a skill building workshop that you can harness and use and leverage to drive heightened revenue, enjoyment, and growth in your business or yourself. Trade excess dining out for a monthly family or personal experience fund. And lastly, redirect passive subscription costs to an ESG aligned investment fund. So how can you reallocate $100 this week from being a drain to being a dream achiever? Last, build a values-based spending plan. Here's a 5-step system that helps you get there. We want you to Enumerate your top 3 values, if that's freedom, impact, simplicity, etc. Set monthly spending categories and budget amounts that support achieving each of those. Audit your current spending for alignment with your top 3 value areas. Reallocate 10% plus each month to these values aligned priorities. And celebrate small wins. We want you to start tracking your joy factor, not just your dollars. You can use many tools out on the internet that will support purpose-based budgeting, because your money isn't just a tool, it's a mirror of what you truly believe. So as we close out this week, let's remember your budget is your blueprint for a life well lived. The goal isn't to spend less, although that can be phenomenal outcomes and results that occur. It's to spend intelligently with your heart and your hand and your head. So this week, we challenge you to complete your joy audit, reallocate one expense to something more values aligned, and set a Q3 goal to deepen your financial alignment. Because smart spending leads to joyful living, and true wealth is about becoming more aligned with who you ultimately are. Quote of the week: a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Mr. Dave Ramsey. So again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell wrapping up week 24 of WealthWise 2025. Smart spending, joyful living, aligning your budget with your values.